Hey, this is Greg Bowe, Daily Dose of Gematria. Got Rich here with me. How's it going, Rich?
Hey, what's up, Greg? What are we talking about today, bro?
Well, you caught me right in the middle of a conversation with somebody on Facebook there who was talking about the flat Earth. I won't out him by name or anything. Don't want to do that without his permission. But does seem to be a topic that comes up a lot in our circles, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. And the thing is everybody has their own view. And one thing I've noticed is there's a lot of corruptness going on in this world, as we know, and there's a lot of divide. And one thing I've noticed about flat Earth, people who think the Earth is flat, you're not going to change their mind. And people who think the Earth is round, you're not going to change their mind. I got my personal thoughts on it, but I'll let you go ahead and take it away, and I'll add my thoughts in a sec.
I've noticed that about any issue that people are generally persuaded because of themselves. They generally aren't open to listen to what other people have to say anyway. Now, I have taken a lot of time to really try to hear out the flat Earth argument. And I'm pretty new to it, so I'm sure there's still more to be heard that I haven't heard yet. But every time I hear their arguments, they just seem to fall, well, flat. Pun intended. So... But I'm just not seeing the evidence. Now, however, that leaves me with a conundrum, because what I do see and what I do understand is that NASA seems to be contriving a whole lot of the numbers for the universe. Numbers related to pi and holy sacred numbers seem to, squaring the circle, seems to be the mathematical formula for how they determine the diameter of the Earth, the diameter of the moon, the speed of the Earth, the angle of the Earth, the speed at which the Earth goes around the sun.
So what you're not to cut you off, but what you're saying, Greg, is you found the numbers that they use for the circumference of the Earth and the speed of the rotation. You found those numbers to be contrived.
Yeah,
through numeric riddles.
They almost definitely have to be. I mean, what are the chances that the radius of the moon and the Earth together help you find the exact way to square the circle? I mean, I did a whole video on it, and
I've seen them, bro. Yeah, anyone can go see. If you just go watch about 5 or 10 of Greg's videos on YouTube, bow and arrow, easy search. I know what Greg's talking about, and some of the stuff I don't quite understand, but by listening, I put it all together, and I see where you're going.
It's very hard to explain that subject without a board to write on so that you can follow along. But on those videos, I had my board behind me. I was at home, so I wrote it all out so that people can understand the concept a whole lot more clear.
Well, let's just assume you're right on 2/3 of that, and they are contrived numbers. Then one would think, well, they've never been to space, or they've never been to the moon. They lied to us about every other thing in life. So why would they tell us the truth about being to outer space? Which makes total sense, but that still doesn't tell us what shape the Earth is.
That's right. My conundrum is, well, if they lied about all that other stuff, then how do we know they're not lying about the shape of the Earth? Well, the thing is I've noticed that with humanity is that when we leave one position, our natural inclination for some reason, no matter what that view might be, whether it's religion or anything, is that when someone changes their view, they tend to go to the most opposite extreme as possible. It's like most people can't just come out of one thing a little step at a time, just grow a little bit out of it. It seems like they turn and they go as far away as possible. And what I suspect happened is not that the Earth is flat. I do suspect, though, that they probably did fake the moon landing. I think probably they went into space, and just floated around up there, and the rest was done in a studio. At least from what videos I've seen and what I can gather. I cannot be 100% sure of that, but it does seem awfully suspicious because, I mean, what are the chances that nobody died on any of these missions? I mean, how unlikely is that,
Well, you did have that explosion in what 1985, but
Yeah,
they weren't in space yet.
yeah. Well, that wasn't a moon mission, but yeah, that was the
Yeah.
Challenger, and that was on a space shuttle. But yeah,
Hey, Greg,
mhm.
I just thought of a decent point here. How when I followed this gematria stuff and Zach's work, I wasn't aware until you and Ed that these people just love the moon. The people who run our world just they got a hard on for the moon, bro.
Yeah, they do.
And so it kind of makes sense that they would lie if they never went to the moon because they love the moon so much.
One
So
video really seemed to prove that point that it could be contrived when they, and it's so hard to explain this without showing it. But one guy made this awesome video. One of the Zach followers. Okay, so but I forgot his name, and I'm sorry about that. But uh, I would love to give him credit because it was a great video. But he showed how the gosh, see, I wasn't thinking about this before we come on. Uh, but he showed how
take
it
your
was an
time.
astronomical ritual, how the moon landed on. Oh gosh, I don't know, but it was just I can't even explain it because I don't have the facts in front of me. I should write it down
Well,
these days.
we can come back to it.
Yeah,
You'll find your yeah. You
yeah. Oh
know,
gosh, it was
bro,
a great video.
I got one message.
Okay.
As we run the page Daily Dose of Mantra and we try to get truth out there, my thought on flat Earth. This is me personally. I don't care if the Earth is flat, circle, which I think it's a globe personally, but that's my personal belief. Someone else believes it's flat. You can't take their belief from them. But here's the message: if it's flat, circle, rectangular, a star, shape of a square, it doesn't matter. It could be a hexagon, bro. What's going on right here on the ground? People playing God over the masses, people conducting drills and reporting them as tragedy, you know, this rig sports, the whole 9 yards, all the divide. Let's beat them and together, the flat earthers and the global heads or whatever you want to call them. Let's all leave flat earth at the door, beat these people, and then you can fly up there in a spaceship and tell us what shape the earth is, bro. It's not worth arguing over because you're not going to take someone's belief away from them.
Right.
And I don't blame anyone. If someone wants to think the earth is flat, maybe they know something I don't know, bro. But I look at the stars in different hemispheres and little clues like that and how the sun sets and, behind the, like on the beach or whatever. It's like, but I don't give a rat's ass what shape the earth is, bro. We got scripted sports, scripted politics, shaming black people, false flag occurrences, weather control. Let's worry about all that, and then worry about what shape the Earth is. How about that? That's
Well,
all. That's pretty much all I got on that topic.
it sounds good, Rich. Okay, it sounds good on the surface to say that. But if we're going to call ourselves truth seekers, we have to be willing to look for whatever that truth is. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to lambast or make fun or ridicule anyone for the conclusions they've come to so far, but we should be willing to consider those issues and try to discover whatever the truth is. Because if these elitists are lying to us about all these other issues, this is yet one more issue that they're lying about. And if it is the
Absolutely.
case, then we need to know exactly what the truth is and
But what
understand
I
to
just
what
said,
degree have
Greg,
they lied.
what I just said was when I said we have scripted politics, false flag occurrences, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm putting flat Earth sixth or seventh on the list.
Hey.
Which I don't think the Earth's flat anyways, but I'm saying this is what these people should be doing. There's more important stuff than what shape the Earth is. I'm not putting flat Earth on my list, but some people will. But is a fake school shooting, is flat Earth more important than this fake school shooting? I don't think so. So it's like, okay, we're still standing here getting shit on every day, no matter what shape the Earth is. and you called us truth seekers. We have already discovered the truth that people are shitting on us every day that run this world. We've already seeked the truth.
Yeah.
So I'm not a truth seeker. We've already been shown it. We can keep digging for more, sure, but arguing about it and digging for more is kind of wasting time when we could be, I don't know, standing in the White House lawn, asking them questions.
I like that idea, Rich. More than you know.
Oh, they've strengthened numbers. That's what they've always used. Like you gotta turn the table on them.
Maybe it's time for Zach to organize one big old event where we do go down there. And I know he's talked about it, but I
Well, I
think there's
think he's
probably
working on that. He's working on leaving once a month, keeping the Patreon sales up, and being able to afford. Like he might travel to Cincinnati one month, and then next month he goes to Tennessee or just whatever. I told him we put Tulsa on his list for sure. But if he started doing that, he would start getting more handfuls of people in each city. People would start talking. Yeah, it could help grow having enough people to do that. Even if you only had 500 people that showed up at the White House saying, hey, we got the answer to all your riddles, explain this.
So whatever they do, they shouldn't travel on the same bus.
I'm not going to advertise. I'll travel on the same. I got you, but I ain't worried about it. It's not like the government's going to know that Daily Dose of Gematria is on their way there. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro, that's why I made this page. So, I just don't give a crap about what shape the Earth is, bro.
Right?
That's all. Yeah, sure, it's one more lie. If the Earth was anything but a globe, if they never landed on the moon, sure, that you can chalk that up with another lie. But it's kind of like if you lied to your parents 30 straight times and you got in trouble. Like what's the 31st time? Is that a bigger punishment? It'd be the same punishment. Does that make sense?
Sure. I have this innate desire to know exactly what the truth is, and to this extent, I don't know to what degree they've lied to us. Now, all the evidence I see as far as the shape of the Earth, seems to point that it's round. But how many of these space missions are entirely fake? Obviously, the Challenger was a ritual and fake, and those astronauts still have jobs, and they've been caught red-handed. And obviously, when they say that the moon is 2,160 miles wide diameter, that's literally Kabbalah, one square. The angles of a square all added together, one square. We know they're lying about things.
Yeah,
Where do
I totally understand.
Start?
Because you're seeing the diameter of the Earth or whatever, then it matches up with one of their numbers they love or something. It's like I see what you're saying, but we don't know how much they've done in space.
Okay, what are the chances, Rich, that if the moon is one square, and that seems to be like their base unit, okay, because it's Kabbalah. Kabbalah is the based on a cube, Kabbalah. So if the moon is one cube, what are the chances that the Earth would be just the right diameter as to create the formula for squaring the circle? It's just the odds of that are so astronomically small.
Right.
I mean, it could have been designed that way. It could have been that's the way God created it, but I want proof.
That would mean that God knew our measurements, though, right?
Right. I just want proof. If this really is how big it is, I want to stand back and say, wow, that is amazing. God made it like this, and God knew what he was doing, and this is amazing.
Okay.
And I want to
So let's say you find that out, Greg. Sorry to interrupt. Let's say you found that out. We still have a million more lies to deal with.
Yeah.
So, like, who gives a crap, bro? The shape of the Earth isn't affecting you, right? But what else? Well, all the spraying in the sky is. All the 5G is.
Definitely affecting us.
All the rigged sports are. All the racial divide the media plants. Because don't forget the people that run the media, run the government, run the sports leagues, and the banks.
Hey,
And I've never
Rich,
been a political. Huh?
I'm going to hit a rabbit trail here because you got me thinking. You remember our last time we were talking about 42 and how it is the number stamped on black people?
Absolutely.
With my kids right before I came where I am now, I was watching Spider-Man Spider-Verse, okay? Cartoon movie. And what it is the new Spider-Man is Miles Morales, who is a black kid taking over for Peter Parker, okay? If you're familiar with the comics. Well, I stopped at 4 places where they had him standing beside a 42. I took a screenshot. I mean, what are the chances? That's it's not a chance. They're obviously trying to uh, code Miles Morales, with the N word, and it's just so
I
obvious anymore.
I learned a couple things, Greg, from our that we couldn't think of on the 42 video, like the thing with February. 42 and 59 are stamped all over Black history. The only month, February, that sums to 42, it ends on the 59th day of the year. I think
Right.
that's what I was missing.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yep. And there was another thing, but I forget what it is now. But yeah, the list goes on and on and on.
And that's probably exactly why February has 28 days.
Yeah, they had to make it match their number.
Isn't that crazy, this matrix that they've constructed?
Yeah, but I don't. You know my thoughts on this matrix thing. Yeah, matrix constructed makes more sense worded, but yeah, and that's probably I think Zach said it best. I gotta go back and watch that movie. But like, what is it like? We're dependent on whatever in the movie. What we need something. Do you remember what it is? In the movie, the people needed and depended on something, and it just reminds me of like how we need the internet, and just stuff like that, man. Like they're making us dependent on them and the internet and stuff,
Oh, right. Well, yeah, I guess. Okay, I see what you're saying. The premise of the movie.
I'm comparing it. Yeah, I'm comparing it. Yeah.
Yeah, the premise in the movie is that in the real world, it's run by robots, and the robots use the people, and they just have their minds enslaved.
Oh, the robots need the people. Is that what it was?
Real people create energy for the robots.
Gotcha.
But their minds are enslaved, and their bodies are just in a cocoon in a catonic state.
See, so I don't know, bro. I don't understand all that. But, when people say matrix or what's the other word I can't never think of? Simulation?
Construct, simulation, yeah, okay.
No, man. I've said it a million times. There's people that are purposely mocking us. And even if a computer did it, somebody programmed that computer, bro. You know what I mean? A person's still responsible for that.
Absolutely.
So either way, it's manipulation, mockery, tyranny, whatever you wanna say. So.
Right. Yeah, when I say a constructed matrix, I do mean it's this matrix that I'm talking about is being constructed by people.
People.
Yeah.
So, who's the problem? People.
I did have one guy try to tell me that it was constructed by aliens a whole lot like the Matrix or something, but they weren't robots, they were aliens. And
bro.
I was a Source player, and too bad for the rest of you guys, because I was one of the people that his pendulum told me was have you seen that? Have you seen him? He comes on Zach's show, and he was trying to find other people. He said his pendulum tells people who the Source players are, and they're the ones that actually have real bodies in the real world. And apparently he thought I was one of them. He said Zach wasn't.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding at all. No, he goes by Source Player, and I'm not making fun of him. I'm just trying to say he had some strange views, and they were all based on this one woman on YouTube, and apparently she's the only person in millions of years or whatever that has beat the system, and now we all the Source players get to go to. Sorry about you, Rich. I don't think you were one of them, according to him. He said I was one, but too bad for you.
And it's like on the radio show last night, some guy he called in, I think, talking about sports aren't scripted, politics aren't scripted, like some of it's some magic. It's like, dude, stuff like that makes us look bad, dude. You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's shut down YouTube. Let's shut down Daily Dosage of Montreal because we just cracked the case.
But
It's all
Zach handled
magic.
it well. Zach handled it well. I mean, he said, basically, I don't know exact words, but he basically said, I don't know the full nature of reality. Maybe some of it is some kind of magic. I don't know. Maybe they use magic to create the numbers. Sometimes we don't know the full
Let
nature
me
of
let me
how
ask you a
every
question.
last
So
thing
if you
works.
let me ask you a question then in response to that. So the stuff that we put on the business card that occurs, the scripted sports, the false flags, we're saying that that stuff happened organically, and the result of what happened, that part was magic.
I
Like the school was about to get shot up, and then it magically did.
no,
No,
I think
bro.
what I think the caller's saying, Rich, what I think he's saying, and I could be wrong, I could be misunderstanding him, but what I think the caller was trying to say is that these people that are in the elite, he thinks magic is not just the numbers themselves. He thinks magic actually has demonic power. And so that the people are using the numbers, the gematria, the numerology, the sacred math, and that gives just like a witch. That's what a witch would believe. But these things get, and that's why they use that inverted pentagram. It's math that they use to call demonic spirits to go and do their bidding. So, and I think that's what the caller was trying to say. And who's to say? Maybe that is what happens. But we do know for a fact that they're using the math and all this too. They're definitely doing that. Well, that's what Zach.
They're using the math and the riddle type shit as mockery because we'll never be able to see it. Like when Donald Trump did the little ritual. Ritual's the key word here. If someone's doing a ritual by the numbers and we're not supposed to see it and it's mockery, that's not magic, bro. That is by design.
I
And
don't think
I
it
don't
is
know if
either,
there's
Rich. I just
anything.
think that's what that guy was saying. And, there could be
Yeah,
deeper mysteries to the universe than what we really understand. I
okay.
don't know.
So these 10 riddles I can say off the top of my head, the person that was involved, like say Donald Trump or Tom Brady or LeBron James, they had no idea it was going on, but it just happened to lay out a numeric riddle because of magic. So LeBron James didn't know he was involved in a riddle. Donald Trump didn't know he was involved in a riddle that mocked us. That would be the answer if this case is right. If it's magic, then these people have no clue that what happened, and
Well,
that is what
let's
you
suppose for a
cannot
second that
convince
that
me
caller
otherwise.
is correct. And I don't know if he is or not. I'm just saying let's suppose for a second that he's correct. This is just a
Okay,
hypothetical scenario.
I
Uh,
thought you didn't smoke weed, Greg.
well, I can speculate here. Uh,
Okay,
let's speculate and say that this fella might be right. Maybe what his theory is just like what a witch believes. So a witch uses the pentagram, they light the candles, they do the math, they do the rituals, which includes the gematria, and it even goes a step further. They just take it from a mathematical mental concept and they try to turn it into a spiritual concept. So they do the rituals, correctly, and the rituals bring these evil spirits to actually make sure that what they did in the math happens. I think is what this guy probably is thinking. And that wouldn't be
so
an
when I got drunk, which I don't drink for the record, but when I went and drunk a case of beer and then drove and hit the tree, it wasn't my fault because I was drunk or it was magic or something. I can say no, officer. It was magic that I smell like alcohol. You know what I mean? It's magic that my car's totaled out. You know, there's no freaking way, bro. Because these people, when they do their little act like a witch, and they do their math and they do the ritual, we just said the key words. They did the ritual, bro.
right.
They did the ritual.
Well, I tend to
So
agree with
you
that.
are responsible.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well,
They
I
are
disagree with you
responsible.
there, Rich. Uh, there may very well be a place for where evil spirits do whatever they do or whatever, but
Hey,
I don't know. I don't see that they're
tell me
enforcing these rituals.
right here. I got one for you right now. You tell me if this was magic. You've heard the riddle, but you don't understand sports. The season was going to be all about the number 25. The AFC had won 24 all-time Super Bowls looking for their 25th. Hubbard said the season was going to be about the number 25. It was the 97th NFL season, which is the 25th prime number. The Patriots were down 25 points late in the third quarter. And for them to get the 25th all-time Super Bowl, they'd have to come back from a deficit of 25. And they did with astronomical odds and rigged plays.
Yeah.
And that happened on 2/5, February 5th. Is that magic, bro? Or did they obviously set that to be?
Now my opinion is that they set all this up and that they knew what they were doing. Now,
Yeah, they did the ritual. They set it up. They did the ritual. There is
yeah,
absolutely no magic involved in that.
I don't think so either.
Hey,
But
Mom, I didn't
possibly,
take the cookies out of the cookie jar. Mom, they magically left the cookie jar, right, Greg?
yeah, that's right. It was magic. A lot of people probably blame things on magic that aren't magic. Yeah, but
Bro,
let's say that we're 99% sure, and there's a 1% chance that instead of using magnets or some sort of technology, it's an evil spirit throwing the ball into the hoop. I don't think so, but I can't really prove it.
okay. To me, there is no 99%. It's 100%. Because with the riddles that I know, that I personally can speak, I know that that's a lie, 100%. So I can't give 1%. Yep, Trump waves his magic wand and makes everything a big work.
I like to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Greg, they've been your enemy since they signed the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, that's a whole other interesting topic.
It's all the same. It's not a. It's all wrapped into one big ball, man. These people do all the things listed on the card, and that's it, bro. They do all that stuff to us. So they're the crooks. They plant drugs on the street. Yeah, the list goes on and on, man. I mean, I could sit here all day, and we can, all the video. There's 5,000 videos on this channel, bro. So there's nothing good about them, man.
Yeah.
There's what benefit of the doubt?
Now think about this for a second, okay? Think about how long they had to have been doing these rituals. Check this out, okay? I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know if I can hold it still with the fan blowing. Okay, this is Lord Jesus Christ in Greek, okay? So I don't have my chalkboard.
You're good.
Okay, but those are the numbers, okay? And when they're reduced, they equal 864, which, of course, is the diameter of the sun, 864,000. God is, said to be 93 million miles, which is the Trinity times the Trinity, 39 books in the Old Testament, 93 million. So the sun is compared to God, right? And
Yep.
Lord Jesus Christ in Greek equals the diameter of the sun, okay? And added equals the perimeter of the square tangent to the earth. Now, if you don't know what I'm saying, don't worry about it. Go watch my video. I drew it on a blackboard. Not a blackboard, but
I've seen all your videos, Greg.
Right. I'm just saying for anybody else listening, I know you've seen it. But think about this. I happen to know that the text that is in Greek that the King James translators used was compiled by Erasmus in the 1400s. So it's at least that old that they did this.
Wow. Yeah, it's not shocking at all. I mean, I don't understand some of that deeper stuff and history that you guys show, but I mean, I can put one and one together, and I do every day.
Yeah, I mean,
that's zero benefit of the doubt, bro. Zero.
Yeah. Now, all the texts that Erasmus compiled, they go from the received text, which is pretty well documented, to to go back really, really far. So that means he probably did have an accurate copy of the received text, except for in a few places where he didn't, and he used some Latin Vulgate text.
So
And
your original question was like basically how do they script this out or how long they've been doing it? I think it'd
hundreds,
be pretty
even
easy.
thousands of years.
But I think that'd be pretty easy because they're obviously in their groove and they're doing pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, and they seem to be keeping these secrets pretty good. So there must be a fairly sizable number of people that are involved in this.
You plan if you script things out 5-10 years at a time, it'd probably be easier than you think. I mean, all they're doing is sitting back making money.
I mean, get
Think of
this
all
one.
the, think of all the videos you could make if you just had billions of dollars at your disposal. You got all the time in the day, bro.
Here, check this one out. Check this one out. Now, this is Lord Jesus Christ in English. Okay, you see the 495 there at the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's using the septenary cipher. 495, Lord Jesus Christ. What interstate goes around Washington, D.C.?
95?
5. Interstate 495, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they even plan their roads like this.
I was going to guess 495, but I thought I'd switch it up and just say 95.
Yeah, 495, right. Yeah, not 95, right.
Yeah, on Zach's old channel, he's got a couple videos where he's shown stuff like that with highway numbers. Yep, absolutely.
Well, speaking of highways, I mean, we had we had at Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Okay, we had Route US 35 goes across it, and of course that the Mothman Fame Bridge, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where the Mothman Museum is. Well, that bridge that collapsed had US 35 go across it. The Minnesota bridge had Interstate 35 go across it that collapsed. And what does Golden Gate Bridge equal?
35.
135. You know?
How can it not be leading up to that? And I've been speaking of timelines. Something happens here, a couple months later, something happens here. It's like foreshadowing. And with you just saying that, I don't know how something's not going to happen, and it could be an explosion.
Yeah, yeah. We may be putting two riddles together or something. Maybe they'll do something on the Golden Gate Bridge, but it won't be on August 11. There might be an August 11 ritual somewhere else, and then the Golden Gate Bridge is attacked some other day, and we're just combining it.
Never know.
Yeah, we don't know. We'll just,
but you know what? If it happens and we see a bridge in the water, we're gonna, we don't want that to happen, but we're gonna be pretty proud because, we know who discovered it.
Yeah, yeah. That
we're a handful of fools. We're a handful of people.
It's gonna really, they're like spitting in the wind right now if they do that, because we're primed and ready to expose it if they do.
By the way, Greg, when we do the live streams, I'd like us to wear tinfoil hats in the videos. What do you think of that idea?
Yeah. What kind of hat is that the investigators wear? Fedora. I want a tinfoil fedora.
Any way you want, as long as it's a tinfoil hat, man. Because of all the people that send us tinfoil hats, but yet all this stuff is provable,
Yeah, in a million different ways. I was little upset. I had some bad news this week from, I was talking to you yesterday about, the mom of that.
I never got to look at nothing.
Yeah. I guess it was she was sending it to me on my messenger, and I had the messenger page over top of the.
Bro, let me get this straight. You're doing a decode, and I don't know how this feels because I don't do decodes. And I also don't do murder videos. And there's a reason for that. I've probably told you before. Not that I don't think it happens. I think it does happen. But just because I'm not going to say this person killed this person. I wasn't there. I don't care how much the numbers line up. Because something like this could happen, what happened to you. You're telling me you were doing a video or a whole series, as you put it, on the death of a little girl, and the mother contacted you because she saw the video.
Yeah, that's what
I would
happened.
not want that to happen, bro.
No,
That,
I
that's
guess
a
because, if
rock
they're
in a
not
hard
willing to
place.
listen or they're not willing to try to learn what's going on because they have an emotional vested interest in what's going on, so their mind's not going to be, yeah, let me try to figure this out and understand it,
Well,
which
bro,
is,
like we can see how they
understandable.
scripted the date together at the California fires. We can see how they scripted the Super Bowl with the date. But like, would you bet $1 million that girl was ritualistic sacrificed based on your numbers, or would
No,
you think?
I would say that it needs to be investigated further. I would say that this is a clue that says that we really should look into it more, and that this is pointing in a direction that needs to be investigated and followed.
I'm totally. You answered that very great, bro. You answered that very great. And yeah, I I've often like told Zach he's like a detective, man. You might have solved 500 murders, and why wouldn't the police step in there? You know what I mean?
And that's the exact problem that she's having, is that the police will not cooperate, are obviously covering up. The people involved in the murder were all had family in the police, and it's obvious what happened here.
Did
Um,
you hand that? Does Zach know about this instance, or did he do a video on it?
I don't think Zach knows about it. Now, Derek, however, the guy that made Gematria, he put it on his Gematria blog. You know how he has that blog
Yeah.
section, and he decoded it very thoroughly. And I wrote every last bit of his decode down.
Okay.
I actually put it into one of the videos in the
What
series.
was what? How old was this girl, the daughter?
I think it was 19 or 20. I think 20.
Okay, so she was nearly an adult.
Yeah, she was
So
an adult, technically.
within your video, there was she involved in music, or is there a plot there?
Well, um, let's see here. Let me pull out the file here that I have of her decode here, and that helps me because I did think it was rather interesting though that just a mile away from where this murder happened, that there is a grotto, a Masonic grotto called Ben Bay Grotto, and Ben Bay was a real person, a black guy who lived at the time of George Washington. Well, this girl who died on 11/19, and Ben Bay was actually born on 11/9. Very similar, 119. And
Both numbers have 119, the reflection of 911.
exactly,
Okay.
which also, is the divine feminine and so forth.
So you got a small town Masonic club you're looking at.
Yeah. Oh, and when I looked into this Ben Bay Grotto thing, I mean, uh, gosh, that's a whole nother decode in and of itself. Just going through all the weird crap that is connected to them, I have zero doubt that they are involved in ritual sacrifice. Zero doubt in my mind. Just from the numbers of Ben Bay Grotto and all the different things that they.
Yeah, I realize that there's probably more to it. I think you set the table pretty good there. And, my comment is, bro, I don't know about Freemasonry before I learned this work. And you know what? I'm learning people are saying there's good Freemasons. And I bet there is. And there's probably ones that have no clue what goes on.
Oh,
And
no
I don't
doubt.
know.
Most of them.
It's like, so if you're involved in Freemasonry and you're a good person, we're not talking about you, you know?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Right. I mean,
I just want people to understand that. I wanted, we're not,
talk about people
I'm
getting
not,
a little angry about me, like about with me about just like this mom did. Well, I had a cousin I hardly speak to him anymore, and she was turning me in, getting my videos deleted and stuff. I eventually had to unfriend her, because she was so aggressive about it. Well, uh, yeah, her dad was a Shriner, and I didn't even know that because I'd never actually seen the guy. And I was just doing a video about the Shriners, and she didn't like that one bit, but it is what it is. They're definitely definitely pedophiles, you
But
know.
you know what?
Cool.
You're not out here like spreading satanic stuff. Like, you're a person of God. You know what I mean? You believe in God. So, like, although you're saying stuff like the circumference of the moon or the earth and how that all could have been made up numbers and stuff, you're not saying there's not a God, you know? And so
Right.
you have good will behind what you're doing. I think people just don't fully understand everything, and then they just want to
One of the biggest things that I
stereotype you.
keep hearing, Rich, all the time, well, it was more before, but now I've explained it enough times, I'm hearing it a little less, but I've heard it enough times now, is that people always want to say, oh, so what? You worship the devil now? They actually ask me that, you know. Having some other decent Christian people that literally won't talk to me. There's a lot of people at church are scared to really talk to me about any of this at all because they just don't know what they're getting into, and it's scary for them, you know.
We're just stand-up people.
Huh?
We see wrongdoing, and we're stand-up. I don't like getting mocked my whole life, man.
Right. Right. I think it is our duty as human beings, regardless of any other idea. If you know something's right, to stand up for it, you know, and if you see something's wrong, to expose it, you know, especially if something's wicked and they're using it to kill people. But that's what people can't seem to differentiate is we're not using the black magic. We're not using the numbers to plan ritual murders, you know. We're exposing the people that do.
Yeah, yeah.
And people can't
Yeah, like
separate that in their
shining a
heads.
flashlight right on it in the pitch dark,
Yeah.
and they still pass it by. So, but not everybody does. So,
Now she died. This person in my videos died on 11/19/11, 111911. You know.
right?
Now we have two newspapers in this area: the News and Sentinel, and the other one's called Marietta Times. The News and Sentinel did an article about her on 3/14/13.
Wow.
31413 pi both ways.
How often does that happen?
Well, the Marietta
About once every
Times,
100 years.
yeah, that was News and Sentinel. The Marietta Times did an article on her on 3/22,
Wow.
skull and bones. And another article about her on the 227th day of the year.
Hey, you know that why we're on the 322. If people have no clue what that is, or think it's just a coincidence, the 322 is like, I don't know all the information, but it's a very important number to all the presidents, right? That's safe to say.
Sure.
The Bushes in particular.
Yeah, well,
And,
Bush, Daddy Bush, or younger Bush arrived at Daddy Bush's funeral at 3:22. You know, his plane
yeah, the
touched down at
plane landed right
3:22.
at 322. There was a movie where with Will Smith in it. There was something else, and then he looked at his watch, and it was right on 322.
Oh, I wanted that picture so bad. I don't have a cell phone anymore. I would pause things and take more pictures. Now
Yep.
get
They've
this.
just when they've proven it's significant over and over, then you know it's significant. So
And we were talking about 42 again and how it's stamped all over Black history. And this girl, she was black. Well, she was killed on 11/19/11, and that leaves 42 days left in the year.
unbelievable.
Yeah, and this is all just coincidence. You know, these two newspapers are not. You know, that's she was mad because this mom was mad because she doesn't understand what we're doing. And well, I just think you're insulting the whole case, and it's just all numerology, and I don't believe numerology. Of course, she knows all about it. I'm sure, right?
Well,
You know, she
well,
has enough
Greg,
information.
Greg, the thing is, you said numbers that are undeniable. I get it, and there's probably more.
Undeniable, a billion ways over. That's
But
absolutely right.
but you got to respect the mother of that child. That's that's why I personally wouldn't even do a video on it. I would just acknowledge it and maybe share it through typing, not even her exact story, share that it happens. But I would not want any parent contacting me because I posted a video. Nope. But that's just my belief, you know?
Yeah. Well, even if this person can't fully understand or appreciate what we're doing, I hope at least that it will lead somebody. And if I could get more evidence, I would love to investigate it further, and try to get to the bottom of exactly
Tell
who
me
did this.
this. What's the media report or the parent report? What happened to the person? They just came up missing?
No, no, no. This was a car wreck,
Okay.
and she was actually decapitated at some point, and very, very nasty. But the strange thing is, okay, her clothes were taken off and wrapped from the inner clothes to the outer clothes over the guardrail.
Yeah,
Obviously, that
okay, that definitely makes it a lot weirder, bro.
yeah, that means it's definitely a murder, right? So there's zero question about that. However, the police said they couldn't discover any evidence of a murder.
Why is the mother then arguing with you? Because she obviously don't know all the answers.
Obviously, and she's obviously not getting the police to cooperate. Well, go figure. And that's what I told her. I said, if I'm right, then the police aren't going to help you. They're involved.
Yeah, I'm kind of speechless now on this because you see, I kind of stuck up. I agreed with you, but yet stuck up for her, and I see her point of view. But then when you tell me more of the facts of the case, now it's like, well, your idea is better than probably any idea she has.
Right. Yeah, they haven't made any headway as far as I know. They're not really going to get any headway because no one's going to assist them and go against
You
this,
sure? Are you sure
calming
Zach didn't
power.
do a video on this? We need to check on that because I think you need to. I think you should
No,
send
Zach
this to
didn't.
him.
No, just Derek. Or Derek didn't make a video. I don't think he just blogged about it.
Why don't you type me something up and the video and put it as a heading and send it to me on Messenger, and I'll send it to Zach's phone number.
Yeah, it was. I mean, so I got the whole playlist. Um,
The whole series. What a sad story, though, bro.
yeah, I'll send you the name and everything, and you can just look under the just watch all the videos in the playlist. The more recent ones are the more thorough ones, and of course, the better I get at decoding, the better my information gets. I am pretty
Right.
new to this.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't doubt you, Greg. I just the murder thing's a touchy subject for some people.
Yeah. Well, we know they're active in this area. Okay, they got that Ben Bay Grotto. Just last year, no joke, a bonesman, a member of the Skull and Bones, tried to recruit me in the Skull and Bones. So they definitely are around here. It's not like it's some unknown thing.
No,
Okay.
time out. Time out. Was this after you started doing these videos?
No, no, this was
This
before
was
I even
before you done the work.
this is before I even knew about Gematria. I mean, this was last year. Remember, I only come across this last November when I first watched Zach's videos. Yeah.
So they're trying to recruit people, huh? We have
Well,
someone on our
always. I mean,
we have someone on our page I haven't talked to in a while, and I'm kind of he called the Freemasons that's in his town or whatever, and I
yeah.
guess they stopped by his house. They stopped by his house and left a message that they wanted to talk to him, and they meant no harm. But stuff like that makes you think. I ain't heard from the guy in a couple weeks. He's on Gematria chat.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
You seen the you see okay.
I
Well,
believe I believe
I
so.
hope nothing came out of it, but we'll see. He'll I'm sure he'll respond soon.
But I would like to see us doing carnivals and fairs. You get a booth and put your board in the back and talk to people. Put some seats out so they can sit there and listen.
How did you know that's what we were thinking of?
Really? Now, well, I mean, I'm definitely open to doing this around here.
Kim gave an idea. You probably seen Kim's name. She lives in Las Vegas. She found out Zach's gonna start going places once a month. She's gonna research the venues that you can rent tables for the day and people can come up to you. Instead of just going somewhere and going into a park, go somewhere where there's 1,000 people, like Comic-Con, stuff like that. exactly. I just talked to him about this the other day. He likes the idea. If you were at a carnival and rented a tent and some
Yeah,
tables,
that's what I was thinking. Carnivals and fairs
yeah,
and things like that. That's what I'm talking
tell
about.
him, give him a business card, sell him a book,
Yeah.
and type and read 10 riddles to him. You
Yeah,
know what
I
I
would
mean?
like to see Zach get some more paperback books, and then we could buy him wholesale or something and sell them retail and make a couple bucks while we sell them, to help support what we're doing.
Yeah, but just imagine it, like the 25 riddle I told you about football. There's going to be a lot of people that understand that. You have trouble with sports, but you take 10 clear riddles, they come up, you hand them a
That's
business
exactly
card,
what
and
I'm thinking. That's my goal, man. I need to
you
really get.
tell them those riddles and say, hey, let's start listening to this work every day.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm thinking, Rich. I want to write out 10 well-known, real clear riddles and kind of have them very familiar in my head. And
Well, you can
yeah.
look, if you have a memo pad on your computer, most people have a memo pad on their phone, like a little app where you can save stuff. I could type them out myself.
Oh, good. Yeah.
You just copy and paste it somewhere.
Yeah, great. Definitely.
Print it out, laminate it.
I already in my last video about the dam. I added that part about that you gave me about the guy that. See, that's the problem. Is I still haven't got it memorized very well. But I added that part about the fellow that broke his leg at the same hash mark and all that.
Yeah. Did you get all the info on it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But I
Nice.
also wrote it down. I wrote down word for word everything that you said there on there, and that's my first.
And when you hand people one of your business cards, you can read one of those riddles off to them. Just ask them what the odds are.
Yeah, it's just like anything. You eventually, as you learn it, you start to reach critical mass. There it is. Joe Theismann ended his career in 1985 in the Redskins. His season ended with 309 pass attempts. Score was 23-21. 33 years later to the day, 2018, Alex Smith, also on the Redskins, ended his season with a leg break on the same hash mark as Joe Theismann. Smith had 23-21 score and ended his season with 309 pass attempts.
Absolutely. And the only other thing that I've heard that I don't know is true or not is that Joe Theismann may have had a nephew named Alex Smith.
I wrote that down too, maybe, yeah.
Which it would put that'd be the cherry on top. That would prove that they did a ritual there.
Absolutely.
People can say, "Oh, his leg looked broke on the camera." Dude, they can play with computers, man. Look what year it is, dude. They can make it appear any way they want it.
Yeah, or maybe they used magic, Rich.
But yeah, this was magic as well, bro. As a matter of fact, let's cut the live stream off and go delete Daily Dosage of Gematria. Let's call Zach, tell him to delete his channel because we've cracked the case that this is all magic, bro. It wasn't all
he
these
just
people,
has to switch it over to the exorcism channel, and we'll just do exorcisms from here on out.
bro. Yep. Donald Trump didn't piss on you. All the presidents before him didn't piss all over you. It was magic.
That's right.
Let's shut it down. Let's cut the power.
That's right. All these riddles have been going on for over 1,000 years. Yeah.
It's not mockery at that point. It's magic.
But this caller's not the only one that thinks that magic, by far, is not the only one that thinks that magic is more than just the tangible.
People go too far down the rabbit hole, man.
That's exactly right. They take it too far.
It's not magic. It's 0% magic. Right. The only magic that is being made by the people responsible for it. It appears as magic.
Right.
No, they're all doing it.
Magic is as effective as you believe it to be. That's magic is not intangible. It's actually very tangible. It's a very real thing.
If this was magic, their fingerprints wouldn't be all over it.
Right. Exactly.
There's no fingerprints with magic.
Right. Yeah, exactly. There you go. You got it now.
Where's my riddle at, bro? If it's magic, where's my ritual? You know.
What? Oh, okay.
No, only specific people are involved, like presidents and governors, and you know, where's my riddle?
Well, you got to check out all the governors one of these days. You wouldn't believe how many of them are born on the 119th day of the year and that sort of thing. It's ridiculous.
I wouldn't doubt it because people that are born and bred to be like Donald Trump and whoever else. Okay, how many times have you been in a Simpsons cartoon, Greg?
Well, just the three yesterday, but other than those three,
Yeah, okay, if you've been in a Simpsons cartoon and what the Simpsons said in that cartoon happened, that's not magic. That was done on purpose. We can establish that.
freaking obvious, you know.
So my point is, any of these people can make their birth certificate say anything they want it to say,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be planned ahead of time.
Yep. Well, Rich, I better cut it short, man. But
Yeah.
so
We probably went about 50
conversation
minutes.
here.
I'm guessing. Did we go 50 minutes?
You know, I wasn't even
That's
looking
a
when we
guess.
started with flat Earth, and we got into pretty much everything.
All right.
That's the way it
Well,
works.
how long? There should be a time. Well, we won't know how long it is till you post it. But yeah, go ahead and post it on Facebook and Daily Dose if you want.
Oh, you know it.
Cool, bro. It was a good talk, and we'll check you in a little bit.
All right. See ya.
Thanks, guys.